Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're trying to cut through some of the noise around a gadget that's been getting a lot of buzz,
Yeah.
the Osmo Dashcam Pro. Our mission really is to look into the hype, drill down on what it actually offers, and figure out if that $149 price tag is, real value or maybe more of a marketing mirage. Okay, let's get into it.
Right. And, well, on paper, the specs certainly look impressive. They're talking front and rear 4K cameras, better night vision supposedly, 24/7 loop recording, a really wide 170-degree angle, and, this is the kicker, installation in 2 minutes. Plus, they list the price at $149, marked down from almost $300.
Okay, hold on. If that 4K front plus rear spec actually holds up, $149 that's an incredible price. So the big question for you listening is this whole package a genuine steal you should jump on? Or is the real story, the actual value, kind of hiding in the details, the fine print? Looking at their site, you can see the appeal. That 170-degree angle, that's good for catching things on the sides. They mentioned a money-back guarantee, free shipping. And look, let's be fair. For, say, just driving around the city, daytime commutes, this probably is better than having no dash cam at all, right? It'll give you some footage.
But this is where we need to pump the brakes a bit and talk about maybe 3 big caution points, separating the spec sheet promises from the real-world stuff you actually need. First off, despite all the marketing push, we couldn't find any, solid independent reviews testing this specific model, none that are publicly available anyway, so you're basically just trusting what the manufacturer says.
Yeah, and we know how that can sometimes go.
Exactly. Second point, that claim about being recognized by German insurance companies. It sounds good, but it's incredibly vague. It doesn't say which insurers or why, or if it even matters outside Germany. Real insurance approval usually needs specific things, like tamper-proof video, proven reliability, stuff often missing in budget cameras. This feels a bit like, marketing overreach.
Okay, I get the skepticism there. But let's talk about features people might not realize are missing. You mentioned general dash cam advice, like from TechRaw or others. They often stress things like GPS, G-sensors, dealing with heat. Why are those so important if you just want video?
Well, they're critical because they make the difference between just having some video and having actual usable evidence. Take the G-sensor and GPS. A good G-sensor detects an impact and locks that video file, say, 30 seconds before and after. It saves it from being overwritten by the loop recording.
Okay.
If the G-sensor is cheap or unreliable, you could have a minor bump in a parking lot, and the footage of the license plate could be gone minutes later, overwritten.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That could be the difference between proving what happened or having nothing.
Precisely. And heat tolerance. Dash cams bake in the sun on the dashboard. Temperatures can get extreme, like over 160 Fahrenheit. If they use a cheaper lithium-ion battery instead of more durable capacitors, which is a common cost-cutting move, that heat can literally destroy the battery or cause the camera to fail. Often, right when you need it most, files get corrupted.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about the installation? That 2 minutes promise sounds great, but what does it actually mean in practice? Does that include, hardwiring it for security?
No, absolutely not. That 2 minutes is just plugging it into your car's cigarette lighter, basically. Plug and play. But if you want that 247 parking surveillance they talk about, you have to hardwire it. That means running cables, connecting to your car's fuse box.
Right.
That's definitely not a 2-minute job. And it's the difference between it being a simple recording device and a proper security tool.
Okay, I see the potential downsides. But we are comparing a $149 camera to ones that cost maybe 3 times as much. Is it fair to dismiss it completely just because it lacks, say, GPS? Maybe for just a regular city driver, getting that 4K video is the main thing they need, Maybe that's 90% of the value for them.
And that leads us to sort of a split verdict for you, the listener. We'd probably call this a cautious yes if you're mainly driving in the city, need basic coverage, daytime mostly, and you're okay relying on the company's claims without independent proof. But it's likely a hard no if you live somewhere really hot, or if you really need reliable parking surveillance or GPS data for accident locations, or you just demand that proven reliability you get from better components like capacitors and solid G-sensors.
So this deep dive hopefully helps you separate the flashy specs, like that 4K claim, from the actual practical usefulness, so you don't end up buying blind just because the price looks good.
Yeah, and maybe a final thought to leave you with. If even cameras claiming 4K often skimp on these crucial, less visible features like proper GPS or heat resistance, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What kind of compromises might be lurking under the hood of these brand new cameras we're starting to see pop up? The ones already claiming 8K ultra vision and AI incident detection? Something to think about.